Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we continue and we will finish the terminal list, right? Terminal list will be terminated today. So, do you like this fun? Okay. So before we start, last time, or maybe previous, or maybe one of the episodes, I prepared a picture of Rambo, right? Now, for this episode, I did not make any picture, but I remember this Latin saying, right? How it was? Et tu brute? Teacher, am I right?
Et tu brute.
Et tu brute, yeah. Well, do you know what it's about? Okay, let's ask Jihan. Jihan, do you know what it's about?
Yes, it's from Shakespeare play, I think. And Brutus is a person who got betrayed by his brother. Like he said, even you, Brutus.
Yeah, Caesar was the guy being assassinated, and Brutus was one of his best friends. And when people were stabbing Caesar, Brutus was one of them. And he said, "You too, Brutus?" So betrayal by your brother, yeah.
Kind of unexpected. It's not what I expect from my brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's kind of related to our episode. let's see how.
A good title for the chapter, Et tu, Brute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vola, please enlighten us about caste. Anyone new? Anyone we don't know?
Rape.
Rape.
A friend of Reece who left a boat on Orcas Island for them to use for their mission.
Have you seen him?
No.
No, so just, he was mentioned, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay, the rest already known to us, right?
Drotten, it is it wasn't Jordan for a lot of time.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a few episodes, right? Jordan. Okay, Katie Buranek tells the DCIS. Do you remember what it is? Me neither. I don't remember. Teacher wrote already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Department of Criminal Investigation Service. Okay, so it's kind of detectives, right?
Yeah, basically.
So it's a department for Anthony Layun and McKinsey, right? So they work for it.
Well, McKinsey worked for the U.S. Marshals, and Leun worked for the FBI. I don't know if they're part of the DCIS or not. I'm not familiar with that structure.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, yes, a lot of politics, strange thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to our questions. Finally. Wow, so many texts. And by my surprise, you can understand how prepared I am. I'm sorry, I haven't read this time, but I watched the episode.
Okay.
Okay, so number one. Vasant, would you like to cover number one?
What's Reece's situation at the start of this report, Madam Hartley is? Yes, after that, he became a fugitive. Is that right? He was on the newspapers and TV news. They had a search warrant against him, so he had to hide. And Hartley went to a special place, with a lot of troops around her, security around her. So because she believed that she had a threat, death threat from Reece.
Can we call it a secured place or I don't know, protected place?
Yeah, we call them safe houses, and in spy terminology, we call them a safe house. But she basically hunkered down. She went to her bunker, her residence bunker.
Do you know what is bunker?
maybe it's like it's not really a bunker, it's a house,
Right.
where
Yes.
Hartley stayed. But the bunker is something like underground and protected, like a huge number of people.
Yeah, nice. Do you know any famous person who is associated with a bunker?
No,
No?
no.
Do you know any famous person?
Person with the bunker, is that right?
Yeah. Who is associated? I don't know about other culture, but when we speak about bunker in general, I think about one person, one famous person.
Maybe Osama bin Laden or something.
Very close. Very close.
I gave you a clue in the chat area. Heil! Heil!
Oh, okay. Hitler.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time there because, you know, when alien forces started to bomb Germany, so to be in a safe place, Hitler have to be in bunker. And it was for like 3 years. So I guess I never checked it, but it's long time. Long time. Yeah.
And he ended up committing suicide in the bunker.
Right. And not only him, right? All his family, his family, and his, gardener, and all his valets. So he gave a pill with poison for everyone, and he got, yeah. So
Really?
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't- That sounded like Jim Jones in Ghana. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was a disaster, I guess. Okay. So this Madame Hartley is kind of in a bunker, but not underground, it's just a secured place, right? And Reece is one wanted person, right? He's one who is under the hunt, can we say, or he's a game for the hunt.
There's a manhunt for him.
There is a manhunt for him. Nice.
So he is on the run
He's on the run.
or on the lam. We use both terms. So he's on the run. He's in hiding, and there's a manhunt for him. So he's got to stay under the radar.
Usually, it's the first time for me when I see lamb. Is it just a synonym to run or something?
On the lam?
Yeah, on the lamb.
Yeah, I don't even know where that word comes from. I have no idea.
So it's for this phrase, right? Exactly, on the lamb.
Right, on the lam means on the run. You're a criminal. Yeah, you're
on the lamb. Okay, maybe I should know this. Who knows? Life is interesting nowadays.
yeah, that's true.
What if they start a hunt for Republicans or someone?
Yeah. Russian billionaires are on the run.
Right, exactly. Everyone try to hunt and bite a bit from the.
Well, I think eight have died since Ukraine war started. So 8 of them, some of them have fallen out their high-rise windows.
Yeah.
Which is a Russian tendency. Russians tend to fall out their windows. I don't know why and die. Yeah.
When they are not happy about their lives, they usually or someone else not happy about them. Yeah.
Yeah. They probably had some help getting over the edge of the balcony. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the second one. Let's talk about interview and affairs with Oberon Analytics. But before we start, do you know what is Oberon and what is associated? It's a kind of a name. No?
I don't know.
Oberon Eye, it's from mythology, and it's something who watch you all the time.
I didn't know that. I didn't look it up. Okay.
So it's related, but I don't know. It's a Rome or Greek. I'm not sure. Probably.
Usually Greek. Everything's Greek usually.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Jihan, can you help us with number 2?
Okay. Discuss Katie's first interview, including Hartley's
culpability.
Okay, and culpability in this whole affair, and who Oberon Analytics represents. At first, Hartley's claimed ignorance, and that she has she didn't play a huge part in it. She just initiated the process or the project, and that she didn't receive any money from it. And she told Katie that Katie must understand the events in order to understand that Hartley has nothing to do with it. And Katie like suspected that the one who's behind Oberon Analytics is Hartley herself, and that she received the money via this account. That's all I remember.
So it's very good, very good. So Katie strike me as a very smart person. Do you agree?
Yes, because I didn't suspect that Hartley could receive money like by another account.
But she didn't, right? She didn't get any money.
We don't know.
Well, she said she didn't.
She said she did. Yeah, I missed this. Yeah,
No, she said she didn't.
she didn't. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
so
she said she's not on the list of people that took money. She's not in the cap table.
Mhm.
The only entry in the cap table left that received money was Oberon Analytics. And she said, I'm not Oberon Analytics. I have received no money, no payoff from Capstone. So I'm innocent.
yeah. But it's interesting how Katie got her, right, with this inconsistent story. But we will get this later, I guess.
Yeah.
Jacob, please.
I want to understand the word culpability. Actually, can you explain this one? Because I know capability, but not culpability.
Well,
Yeah,
you know mea culpa.
Yes,
What's that mean?
it's like to prove that you were wrong or
Well,
to say sorry.
it means my fault,
Yeah.
my blame. I screwed up. Oh, that's my fault. Mea culpa. I am to blame.
Mhm.
So culpability is how much are you to blame? You may be 100% to blame, or you may have only done a little bit and be maybe 20% to blame. So
Uh-huh.
culpability is the degree to which you should be blamed for a wrongdoing.
Mhm.
Was he a little culpable or 100% culpable? Or was he zero culpable, innocent?
Like to what extent she got involved in it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And teacher wrote in our chat mea culpa, right? It's Latin, I believe. And because Spanish it has a root as Latin, in Spanish it's still culpa mea, my guilt, my fail, something like this.
Yeah, my guilt. Yeah. So culpability is the degree of guilt. Yeah.
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 Okay, so number 3, right? Let me try to cover this. So we remember that Agent Layun, Tommy Layun, or what is his name? Tom Layun, he was of the case, right? By authority, they not allow. He actually, he's not. It isn't his job anymore, right? So he's not a wanter. How it's called? Hunter for. Well, how we call people who hunt criminals for money?
Assassin.
I forgot the name. This guy.
Mercenary.
Mercenary, yeah. He's not a mercenary, right? He cannot choose which case to get, right? He's in the chain of command, and his command said it's not your case anymore, right? So go there and do another job. But it seems that he's not happy.
Remember Agent Assad went into the office with Ramsey and Layun and said, the Pentagon authorized this. There is no crime. Therefore, it's not your jurisdiction. There was no crime. However, there was a cover-up, and the military will investigate the cover-up.
Yeah. But as far as I understand, he's not happy about this. He didn't agree. So internally, right, inside him. So he didn't say, I'm not obeying, right, to your order. He didn't say this, but he is doing this on his own, right? Now it's his and his gun in action, I guess.
Yeah, so he could be fired for what he's doing. Yep.
It's his war now. But I remember he was talking with his partner, lady, right? And he told her, so Reece is a criminal, as the same as people who put him in this situation. And now I'm going for all of them, right? So that was the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
But-
asked Mark to read. Yeah.
I think he said that he's for the first time behind the victim, not the criminal.
Well,
So-
he still wants to catch Reece, but he understands Reese's motivations. Yeah.
Yes.
So she said, "Are you gonna? You said you feel sorry for Reece? Oh no! I'm still gonna get him. But there's other people who are culpable also. So he wants to make sure all of them are brought to justice, not just Reece. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all, right, about this question, I guess.
So Mac works for a different part of law enforcement, the U.S. Marshals. And so when he asked her, he said, "Would you risk your career for me? Would you help me? But you're risking your career." So if she helps him and they get caught, she could get fired too. I would have said, "I'm sorry, Leon, I can't help you," you know. But she was willing to risk her career too.
And it's a wrong answer, right? Actually, so it's kind of, I don't know. If you serve with your country for 20 years and then for your boss you're doing something wrong, it sounds, I don't know, too much friendship in it.
Yeah, they got to be really. I didn't see them as that close of friends, but apparently they were.
Yeah, well, do you have
Yes.
any opinion?
I didn't understand. Is Tony Leon boss of Mac? Or
Probably.
No,
Oh.
Mac and Leon work for different organizations.
Mhm.
He is FBI. She is a U.S. Marshal. So they're different groups. They work together. That's it.
So it's like a police, for instance, and I don't know, medical service. So they're different service. So they're different branches, right? Branches.
Right. And they often work together on a team, for example.
Mhm.
So he couldn't make her help him because she's a different organization. So if she helps him, she's off the case too. All of them are off the case. So if he helps her or she helps him, both of them are in trouble. Both of them can be fired by their bosses.
But let's think about the message. So what kind of message it is that Mark agreed to help him? Probably that he's a good guy, right? Probably she believes into his motives, I guess.
Yeah. She believed in his cause. But
Okay.
it seems like every movie I watch now, no one follows orders. To hell with the order. Even Reece, to hell with the orders. I'm going to do what I want. To hell with my boss's orders. I'm going to do what I want. To me, this is sending the wrong message.
But for 40 years already, teacher Lee, we tell children, you are so special. Forget about any order, right?
Yeah. But there comes a point where you've got to say, I took an oath to obey my boss, my organization, my country. I'd like to help you, but I cannot. I mean, there's no discipline anymore. There's no honor.
Well,
It's convenient for me to disobey. I'll disobey.
Well, it's a very complicated question, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have
Yeah.
orders, I guess, that make you morally unstable. You feel like you're a criminal, right? If you get this order. So what to do? To resign? Sometimes it's not possible, right? Especially if you're military, you cannot resign, if you don't like an order, right? So it's a question, very, very, very complicated question.
Yeah.
Don't know. Jihan, what do you think? So is it a good case if you disobey, but you follow your friend, or you should obey some discipline? What do you think?
I think everyone should be responsible of the oath they take. Like you said, you will do this, you have to follow it. And especially like in Reese's case, like he ended the lives of other innocent people in his way for revenge. I think like it's silly for me.
Yeah, but he's on the war, right? He says it's a battlefield.
I mean, Leon himself, it's not his responsibility. He's not to blame. Reece, people kill people in America all the time, right? So Reece is really no different. He's just another guy killing people. He's just letting his emotions get involved in a case that he should not be emotional about. Is how I look at it.
You rose nice question in our chat, right? So Leon gets some Navy SEALs to help him. Why? So they're just military guys, and some police guy went there and say, I am hunting one of you. So please help me. What would you answer? Vasant, would you go to hunt your colleague if some policeman asked?
No.
Sounds strange, right? But probably he did not put it in this way, right? He said, I need your expertise. This guy is very extremely dangerous. So I need your expertise to stop him, I guess.
Or just numbers. He needs numbers of people because they're going to assault the compound that's heavily guarded. So him and Mac can't do it alone. So he needs more people to support him in attacking the compound. So the Navy SEALs, a bunch of them agreed to help him because they feel bad by Reece, a Navy SEAL, killing an admiral. It makes the SEALs look bad. So they want to catch Reece to say not all SEALs are evil people. We don't agree with what Reece did, and we're going to bring him in.
Another message could be you cannot attack our base, right, and get out of this, right?
So the Navy SEALs were helping for free for the honor of the Navy SEALs.
But now it's getting messy, right? So Reece on his own and Leon with this platoon without any chain of command, it's getting messy, right? So it's like a Wild West, we are.
Yeah, exactly. So Leon asked the SEALs, are you going to get in trouble for helping me? Because they don't have orders to do what they're going to do. So how are they going to prevent themselves from getting in trouble? Do you remember?
No, I missed this.
One of the SEALs' wives, was a lawyer. So he asked his wife, we're going to do this. How can we protect ourselves legally? So she said, well, if you happen to be on a boat in the water close to her home, and you were doing training exercises, and you happen to hear some gunshots in the distance, the Navy would expect you to go investigate. And we call that exigent circumstances. So the guy said, we're covered. We're going to be doing training in that area. And if we happen to hear some bullets, coincidentally, we're allowed by our authority to go investigate that. So they were covered.
And coincidentally, Mac was in the same boat and Leon was in the same boat. If I were a judge, you would not sell this story to me, right?
Exactly. If it was just Navy SEALs, okay. But why would an FBI guy and a marshal be on that same boat? They're a little suspicious. Yeah.
little bit, yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. Vova, can you help us with number 4?
Describe his and Ben's plan to get to Hartley. I think his would come from water. And
He's a SEAL, right?
yes, he is a SEAL. They are SEAls.
Ben is a former SEAL, right? I remember.
No, I am talking about his imaginary plans.
His imaginary, okay.
Like Buddha, he was and he was and Brent was on the top of the building. Yes.
It was a lighthouse.
Yes, lighthouse. And helping his
Yeah, covering him. Right? Covering him. I'm watching this on this writing, and actually, probably you covered, teacher Lee, this in writing course, but I forgot. So we have Reece and Ben's plant, and we have apostrophe S only to the last noun. Is it correct? Reece and Ben's plant. So not Reece's and Ben's plant, only one apostrophe. Right?
Correct. If there's one plan, both of them together have one plan.
Mhm.
So it's Reece and Ben's plan.
I see.
If each one had a different plan, it would be Reece's and Ben's plans.
I see. Well,
So, so with two apostrophe S's, that means each has their own plan. So there would be two different plans.
and
Reece's plans are to do this, Ben's plans are to do this, but they both have one plan.
right. And we put the apostrophe to the last one, right? To the
Correct.
last one. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Nice. I forgot this already. So if I knew, let's pretend that I knew. Okay. My question is, Vova, to you. So why Reece have to reach the safe house underwater? So we know that there is no one on the beach. Why can't he get there on the boat?
I don't know. Maybe boat was loud.
Okay, my question: how Ben got to the lighthouse? Underwater or just on the boat?
Yes. I don't know.
Just on the boat, I guess. So I'm not.
Maybe also in the suit.
I'm not getting why they have to use underwater moving, because Ben just moves there to lighthouse on the boat.
Yeah. Well,
So-
maybe they were looking for a big boat to pull up on the beach. That would be easy to spot. But
Okay.
if a single person came up out of the water and crouched down, and it might be less obvious. So I'm thinking they had some searchlights shining on the beach, but they were far away and looking for a big boat, and a little man sneaking around, they might not see him. I'm not sure. I had the same idea though. If you're going to land on the beach, just take the boat there, but it would be more obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we partially covered number 5, right? Already. So
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the Navy SEALs, and so let's skip it, I guess. And let's go to number 6. Vasan, could you help us with number 6?
Yes. Ben's employer, the CIA, found out he's helping a criminal. What's Ben plans to escape and live out the rest of his life in freedom? I don't know. I think he had contacts and he already have some savings. So he's decided to move some isolated place after everything.
What isolated place?
Where is located?
This is important.
Not really.
Actually wrote it. It's in Peru. They mentioned in the previous episode, right? So he said, if it's go south, I will live in Peru, and I don't know, something about Australian girls and something else.
Yeah. Party in Peru. Yeah.
Vasan, do you know where is Peru located?
No.
I guess it's Latin America, right? Peru.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Yeah.
on the coast of the ocean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we talked about extradition, right, last time, and I guess that Peru and US don't have this agreement of extradition. Otherwise, it's useless, right, to go to Peru.
Right. So I'm assuming no extradition. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's near Chile. I think it's like underneath Chile. It's kind of a long, skinny country. Yeah.
I can find Brazil. I can find Brazil. I can find Colombia. That's all. That's all I can.
Argentina is the big thing at the bottom that looks like a funnel
Yeah.
or cornucopia. Yeah.
Jikan, can you help us with geography? with Latin
Ah.
American geography?
No, I'm bad in geography.
Okay, so if you're better in geography, help us with number 7. Tell us about logic and inconsistency.
Okay. What inconsistency in Hartley's story does Katie catch? What does Katie ultimately decide about Hartley's guilt or innocence in this conspiracy? I don't remember the details exactly, but it was all around the timing. Katie wanted the times, like in the meeting they had, where they talked about the adverse effects on Reece's troop, maybe I can say. And Katie suspected that Hartley already knew about the bad effect on them, but she decided to ignore it.
Yeah, so as far as I remember, Hartley, she kind of made her story a little bit better, right? So she kind of exaggerated her motives, I guess. So she didn't tell the whole truth. She said, I started some investigation, but I did not know that it was used on my Navy SEALs. I remember it in this way. But in fact, Katie understood that Admiral Pillar already told her that this experiment started. It's how I remember it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in one story, she didn't know about the tumors until after all his men were dead, and she saw the news where Horn was getting into his car, and Katie said, do you know all those men had tumors and they all died? So in one story, that's when she learned all the men had tumors. But in the other story, she was in the war room while Reece's men were underground before they were killed. And in the other story, she knew they all had tumors before they all died.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, she had 9 minutes to save them and abort the mission. But she chose to remain silent and let these 14 men with tumors all conveniently get murdered. So in that story, she's guilty of sin.
I personally didn't like her explanation. I mean, a Hartley explanation at that time. But let's ask others. So what Katie decide about her guilt? Is she guilty or not by the eyes of Katie? Jihan, what do you think?
I think she was guilty.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think? Is Hartley motives understandable? Can we, say he did it for the better good? Can we say this?
No, because she's the one who initiated the project, so she could stop it.
But do you remember her motives? She talked about her father and this traumatic syndrome. Do you remember?
No.
Ah, okay. Vasant, do you remember the story about her father, about Hartley's father?
Yes, she mentioned that he also suffered a trauma, something like that. Yeah. So she knows,
And do you remember her father committed suicide, right? After all.
Yeah, yes.
So she said it's a personal for me. We are, I don't remember exact numbers. We are losing like 20 people every day, because of this trauma. So when there is, on the other hand, only 14 people with tumor. So I did it for better good. Do you remember we sometimes we discuss this moral dilemma, right? Should I kill 14 people now and save 100 people, in 3 days?
Yeah, so she said, if I had asked Reece if he was willing to sacrifice his team to help many more people, he would have said yes in a heartbeat. But Katie said, yeah, but you didn't ask him.
Well, and I find this very cynical, right? From Hartley. I did not like that at all. So I decided for them, that it's better for them to sacrifice their lives actually for nothing, right? For one politics to feel better with his, political speeches. So debates. Wow. I mark her as guilty in my book. Vasant, do you agree with me? She's guilty in your eyes?
Yes, of course. Whatever she does it intentionally, so a crime is a crime, no matter the intentions or the statistics. If she intentionally killing people or letting people die, then she is culpable.
Yeah. In this situation, she knew they were all going to be slaughtered. She knew it was a setup. She knew they were all going to die. So she had 9 minutes to think, what should I do? If I let them die, they're really dying for nothing, right? Because they've already got brain tumors. And if they all die, you can't study them or run medical tests on them. So if they all die, they die for nothing. Or she can save them. But if she saves them, then later everyone will find out they've all got tumors because of a drug that she authorized to be tested on them without their knowledge. So in the war room, she decided if I let them live, I could get in a lot of trouble. But if they all die here, nobody will ask any questions.
Yeah.
So she really made the decision based on her needs, not, well, you know, other people. I mean, that test had already failed, right? That test had already failed. They all got tumors. So
it's always good for your story if all the witnesses are dead, right? So it's your story the only that matters, right? So you can say, you know, these guys obviously, yeah, dead men tell no tales. It's a very concise way to say to understand the motives, right?
yeah, that's what we say. No witnesses. Another thing is no witnesses.
Okay, let's go to this attack, to the action, right? Vasant, would you like to start with number 8?
Just briefly, Reece attack on Hartley's residence up to the point. Yes, he got off the boat and waited for his brother's hint because he had the sniper gun. So he took all the possible threats and all possible soldiers who could attack his brother. So he got them off from the list. Then he moved further closer to the residence. Then at the same time, the FBI team arrived out of the blue, and they had
yeah, so it was a lot of kind of shooting, right? So and mass. He used grenades, right, and smoke grenade, and I don't remember, flash grenade probably, right? So and they, you know, they blown some kind of vehicle. I forgot. Some kind of car. They blown some kind of car from FBI.
Vehicle,
Vehicle, yeah. So it was a lot of mess, right? So it looked like it's not 2 guys getting attacking here, but like, you know, I don't know, a platoon of Navy SEALs, right? So many damage.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. They're all in their safe room, quiet, calm, and suddenly they hear boom. Sounds like he's here.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, all your military service, I mean, American military service are useless, right? So 2 guys can, you know, get anywhere they want.
Yeah. Well, he was a Navy SEAL. He was the best of the best, but they had no chance.
I think in real life it would be boring, right? He probably got shot in, I don't know, in 5 minutes, I guess, because, you know, just because of the chances. So if you have a lot of people against you, you know, it's not that easy to be sneaky, to be dodgy.
Yeah. Now, remember the safe room door had a keypad lock.
Right.
So how did he get past the keypad lock? Do you remember?
It's funny. It's funny. Yeah, so there was a security guy, right? And Hartley probably, it's interesting question, what she was going to do. I don't know exactly, but she had a gun in her table, right? And she was, I think, pondering, right, what to do with this gun. Should I shot Katie Buranek and then said, Reece, done. Right?
She probably had a
And-
lot of thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. She was thinking, she was pondering what to do, right? How can I get rid of this situation? And for this, she does not need any evidence, right? Did not need any witnesses. So she sends these security guys, go and get Reece or something. I don't remember exactly. Go and get this settle it down or something. And actually, security guy, he was surprised. He said, there are a lot of people outside. They taking care of it. She said, no, go now. You have to help them.
Yeah,
I don't-
I would have kept him in the room with me.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, ma'am, I'm doing my job here, right? And I know how to do it. So just shut up, But it didn't help. So they went out, and what happened? Reece kind of, what's the word for this? Menacing one with a gun, and he opened this K pot. That's all.
And
Threatening.
then he shot the guy and killed him anyway.
Anyway, right?
That was kind of cruel. Yeah, that was kind of cruel. But
Yeah, it was cruel, but in general, it was kind of stupid, right? So it looks like anyone can open the safe room, right, from outside. So probably if you have an object like Madam Hartley inside, let her decide when open the door, right? For instance.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Button release. Yeah.
Yeah, funny. Okay, so he gets into, right? Reece is inside safe room. Let's go to number 9, right? Jihan, can you help us?
Describe what happens in Hartley's safe room after Reece arrives. At first, she screamed, saying that she's innocent, and Katie's tried to placate him. Then she just took the gun and tried to suicide, I guess. But Reece decided to kill her before she could shoot herself, right?
No.
That's what I saw.
I guess she committed suicide.
Hartley shot herself.
Mm.
And this is interesting. Why? Why she committed suicide?
I don't know the answer. I was thinking about it. Maybe because she would be blamed and she would have a bad reputation
But do you remember
because the truth will reveal.
Do you remember Katie Buranek was talking with Reece, and she said, I have everything recorded, what she said.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
So probably at that time, Hartley is a walking dead in political sense, right? So she cannot get any position anymore, I guess. Probably he will go under the tribunal, but I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure how will judge play it. But anyway, yeah, no future. What's else?
Well, go ahead, Vasant.
Yeah. I think she somehow guessed that Reece would kill her anyway. So if he kills her, then it's obvious that she is one of the culprit. She's among the list. Then everybody would think that she has done it intentionally. So I think and due to the guilty, she felt she killed herself.
Remember, Katie could prove from her recordings that Hartley knew for 9 minutes that these 14 people were going to die for no reason. And she also knew that she had given all of them brain tumors and they were all going to die anyway. So her involvement in this drug test, where she tested on a platoon without telling them, gave them all tumors without telling them, and then let them all die for no reason without telling them, that made her look really, really bad. Like she was basically a mass murderer. So she didn't want to have to face all that publicity and go to court and be tried for letting 14 men die. She was ashamed of her part in all of this now that it was all known. Now that Katie would tell the world, she was ashamed of what it looked like. It looked really bad. So she decided, bam.
In old good times, I would say, in good old times, right? We always say good old times. In good old times, I would say that, you know, politician who is lying and who is guilty, who is proven to be guilty, will never get any position anymore. But nowadays, I don't know. Nowadays, people lie, you know, from TV. You know, I stopped the inflation at all. You know, how they say? We finished it with COVID, right? We made our economics prosper. So, and nobody get punished for this. Never. So nowadays, I don't know, just make a good PR, you know, and everything will be fine. So if he can find, I know, a lawyer who will, you know, make a good picture of killing these 14 people, you know, for our better, for our own good, probably she will survive.
Oh, look, we found a piece of paper. All of the men signed saying it was okay to kill them. They all agreed. You can fake anything, you know? Yeah.
So nowadays, I don't believe anything, you know, so no one will be, politicians are now don't have to be, I don't know, what's the word for this? Don't want to be distantly good people. So everything is good now. So just make PR. Okay, so she committed suicide. Well, it's good, I guess. Some kind of a message, right? So she understood I did something wrong. Okay.
Which is good, because if Reece had killed the Secretary of Defense, a high government official, that would have looked really, really bad for the Navy SEALs, right?
Unforgiven, right? Unforgiven forever.
Yeah, unforgivable.
Unforgivable, yes. Okay, so what about his escape? Jihan, do you remember how he managed to escape?
No, I don't remember exactly. Can you remind me?
Okay. Not Reece escape. I don't know. Yeah.
He was with Tony Lion.
With Tony Lion?
Yes. He said, "I will kill you." He said, "I already did."
So it was a dialogue we love, right? Dialogue Terminator style. I will kill you. I'm already dead.
Yes, I remember he just walked out and Lion saw him, but they didn't spoke with each other. And then someone like used the, I think it's called the walkie-talkie, teacher Lee, or it has another name.
Walkie-talkie?
Yes, if they like spot Reece, and he said no, negative.
So Leon was waiting at the beach, knowing that Reece was going to escape by the water also. So when Reece showed up, he said, "Drop your gun." Reece dropped his gun, no problem, because his mission was over. So he dropped his gun, but he kept walking. Leon was going to kill him, but then the walkie-talkie said, "Wait, he didn't kill Hartley. Hartley committed suicide." And that's the only reason he didn't kill Reece. If Reece had killed Hartley, he would have killed Reece, I think.
But why should trust Reece? Why he? I mean, why Tom, Leon trust Reece, right?
I don't think he trusted Reece.
He got it from walkie-talkie, right?
Right, over the walkie-talkie, Mac called down and said, "Hartley committed suicide. Reece didn't shoot her." And that saved Reece's life.
But Reece just shot, you know, many people, right? Many people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't count, it seems. He was on his battlefield.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. I mean, yeah, he didn't kill the Secretary of Defense, but he did kill a lot of other people, and he had enough sympathy that, well, if you had killed Hartley, I would have killed you for sure. But since you didn't kill her, maybe there's a little bit of good in you. I don't know. Yeah, that was a little hokey, a little.
Jihan, please.
If I'm not mistaken, I remember that Layun told him, "Stop, or I will kill you." And then Reece said, "I'm already dead." So that's
Yeah.
the only thing, because they said at first they didn't talk, but they did.
Yeah, they did. And it was what I call Terminator style, you know, hasta la vista, baby. I am already there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are close to the finish, right? So Katie's stories was published, right? So what was the outcome? So what was the outcome of this story when it was published? Vasant, can you answer this?
Yes. Yeah. 3 weeks after that, Hartley went to the boat to his brother, and because he found out the final shell company's owner, that was his brother. So he asked him why he did that. Then Katie left the city. I mean, she got that article published. Then the news says police are on the search. You know, they are still searching for Reece. You know, he is on the run. So yeah.
Yeah, so this still is on his wanted list, right? And but government, as teacher Liv wrote in our chat, now better than it was before, right? So bad people killed or died, right? And new good people arrived, I guess.
Yeah. Until they're offered money, and then they'll turn bad again. Yeah.
Why are we so satirical about government? Jihan, do you know? Why, for instance, I am a teacher, and teacher Lee as well. We are, you know, laughing when we say that government became better. Jihan, do you have any idea? Are you with us on this regard? Probably she's disconnected or something. Vasant, are you with us in this regard? Can you believe that government became better? Think?
No way. People will always to continue what is pleasing them, so they would not change in general. When it comes to collective behavior, no, nothing will change.
Yeah. Yeah. We are pretty skeptical, right, in this regard. So when we see something good from government, we really surprised all the time, right? Wow, how did it happen? Probably it happened not because of government actions, but, you know, against it. It's what I feel usually.
We have a saying: absolute power corrupts absolutely. So governments always have absolute power. They can do whatever they want. And after a little while, that will tend to make them become corrupt. I can do anything I want. You know, I don't need to follow the law. I am the law, you know. Yeah.
Interesting. Will humankind ever will have another, you know, kind of model or something? I always think about it, and I think the answer is no.
Yvonne, do you remember what Winston Churchill said about democracy?
Democracy is the worst case of, you know, ruling, but it's the best one I know, right? Something like this.
Yeah. It's the worst one, but it's better than all the others.
Yeah, interesting. Why we are doomed to, you know, to this, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's stick with our story. Vova, number 12. Could you cover it?
Describe what happens on Ben's sailboat at the conclusion of the
Conclusion.
conclusion of the series.
Mhm.
Mm,
So there was a sailboat, right?
yes, and Ben just walking, and he see a shadow, and he knows that it is his. He,
How?
I don't know.
He waited for him, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
And he turned around, and they were talking. Yes, and Ben was guilty. I don't remember how.
Ben was the guy who was behind Oberon Analytics. And Ben was the guy who actually condemned, can I say condemned, Reece to the death, right? He said, Admiral told me that you're already dead. So I made the bad intel from my service, and I actually made this trap, right? This ambush against your platoon. So, and he got a lot of money on this. So actually he traded his own brother, as we can see this way, I guess. But after, do you remember he said, but what happens to your family? I have nothing to do with this, right? And when that happened, I was with you. I helped you. I kind of, I took your side. And it's true as well.
It's
Yes.
true. Yeah. Yeah. He helped him kill the rest of the bad guys, but hopefully not him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So what do you think? Should Reece forgive Ben or not? So he had this option, right? He could say, Ben, you made a mistake, but I forgive you. Let's leave.
Yes. It
Oh,
wasn't just a mistake. I think Ben know only that Reece is dead. Yes.
No, not only this. He fabricated an intent or intel about, he actually organized this ambush.
Yes, but he thinks that Reece is dead.
Reece was dead. Admiral told him that
It
Reece,
is not a mistake. He just
do you think he had the right to do this?
yes, because he didn't know.
So should Ben forgive him?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, Reece. I guess.
Should Reece forgive Ben?
Yes.
Okay, so in Vova's story, Reece should forgive Ben and say, you did not know about this. Let's do the vote. Jihan, what do you think? Should we forgive Ben? Jihan got disconnected or something. Vasant, what do you think? Vasant, should we forgive Ben for doing this?
Then no, I don't understand what, how much truth he knew while he was doing that. Once he realized he got out from that crime, or he contributed
Ben-
more. Mhm.
Ben deliberately caused all of Reese's people to die. Ben planned that.
Mhm.
So the question is, would you forgive him? Ben was guilty. There's no doubt. Ben
Yeah.
admitted he gave bad intel that got the whole platoon killed.
Mhm. Yeah, he is guilty, and I think the only thing he is not aware of is Ree's family's death. I think he
Right.
didn't
That
know about it.
was
Yeah.
correct.
So yeah, that's why he helped him all the way through this. Okay, but
So
he's
would
guilty.
you forgive him or not?
No, definitely
No?
he is guilty. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm on opposite side. I think I would. I don't know. It's not a easy decision, but I think I tend to forgive Ben for this because he did a mistake. He made a mistake, but he changed his mind. He helped a lot. He risked his life. Right? He did everything he could for this revenge, and he did it exactly in a way how Reece wanted it. Right? So he did not kind of try to. What's the word for this? To prevent any revenge, right?
Thwart. Yeah.
Worked.
He did try to talk him out of it sometimes.
Yeah.
But when Reece said we're going to do it, he said, okay. But he did try to tell him, we can stop now. We can go to Peru. We can live our lives in peace and nobody can find us if you stop now, you know, but Reece said, nope, I want to kill her to her face. Okay. You know, he tried to stop him, but, you know, not forcefully, you know, he just kind of tried to nudge him to stop.
And also, I think that there is no use to killing Ben. So, okay, you killed him. What changed, right? What does it change? In my opinion, nothing.
I can say this for all killings.
Well, okay.
Yeah, the reason Ben said he did it, and this is important to me. Ben knew that all of those men had brain tumors. He knew they were all going to die. If he didn't do the plot, they would all live and it would become public and they would all start suffering pain and agony. They would all go to the hospitals. They would all lie in the hospital bed for months and months, you know, and then eventually they would die in pain. So Ben was thinking it's better for them to die in battle, doing their job, quick and painless, than to allow them to live and suffer for a long time and die a sick, pitiful patient in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
So Ben's reason to me was good, but he didn't know the family was going to get murdered. Now, if he had known the family was going to get murdered, that would have been different. But he didn't know that. That was someone else's decision.
And I can believe that he did not know about the family because he immediately changed his model of behaving, right? So so I can trust it, I guess.
Yeah.
And we can see that Ben is kind of, you know, I don't know how to describe it, kind of a ranger, right? So with ideas that, you know, people must be free, people must have, you know, this Valhalla style. If you know about Vikings, you know, the only happy Viking is a Viking that was killed in the battle. So you can, that's the idea.
Yeah, so I probably would have forgiven him just because of that, but Reece was hardcore, man, hardcore. The mission's not done.
Once planet, right? No change.
Yep. You're on the battlefield. Sorry.
And what do you think about this new ink? Do you remember? He said, "I got a new ink," and show it on his shoulder, right?
He got a new. Yeah,
but he said, I did not know it's for me or for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it mean? I did not get it.
Remember that Steve Horn? Remember Steve Horn?
Yeah.
When Leon and Mac went into his office to ask him about Reece, and he said, "I don't know Reece. I don't know the Navy SEALs." And Mac said, "Look at that tattoo on your arm. That's a tattoo to honor dead Navy SEALs. So you know Navy SEALs. You know Reece." Well, Ben got the same tattoo to honor a dead SEAL, but he didn't know who the dead SEAL was going to be, Reece or him. If Reece forgave him, then Reece would die from the tumor and the tattoo would honor Reece. But if Reece killed him, then he would be the dead SEAL and the tattoo would honor him.
Yeah, after all, I had some, he kind of deserved some sympathy from me, right? So from the beginning of the series, I was not impressed about Ben. He was just a guy, right? But after I see he has some motives, and he was a kind of, I can't say a good guy, but a guy who can understand something. So it's something in my book.
But you know, and one thing I noticed about Ben, he was CIA, but he was a follower. He didn't ever do anything on his own.
Mhm.
He, you know, they paid him money to give bad intel. They told him what to do. Reece told him what to do. Do you want to do this, brother? Yes. Okay. So Ben was kind of a follower the entire movie. He didn't really take initiative and do things on his own. So to me, he was kind of a wimpy CIA agent. You know what I mean, Ivan?
I understand it completely, but I think it's kind of different situation, maybe, or something. Do you remember he has a style, kind of a hippie style, right? So all these inks and, you know, I'm chasing the wind and something. He probably not a, how to say it, shallow person. He has a lot of things inside, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so enough about them. So Teacher Lee, so if we a jury on this session, so two votes to let him go for Ben. So we call him unguilty, I guess. You know how it goes. Only Vasans is going to prosecute him.
Yeah. Okay. And one last question.
Yep. Okay, let me try it. Once the terminal list is completed, what happens to it and what does Reece do next? Okay, so first of all, surprise for me is that this kind of piece of paper with the list was a drawing, which is his daughter made, right? It was a complete surprise to me.
It was like a symbol.
It was a symbol, right? And it's a very powerful symbol, right? And I kind of surprised that Reece threw away this paper. It's not what I do.
It like it was passed.
Yeah, a mission accomplished, right? So it's just a memory from the past, right?
So letting go of the past, I guess.
Okay, and second question is, what does Reece do next? I don't think I understand, but he's on on Ben's boat, right? If I'm right, and he's heading somewhere in the ocean. I don't know what is this. Is it a suicide, teacher?
Remember when Ben and Reece arrived at the boat?
Yeah.
Rafe, yeah, that's right. There was a message, and the message was from Rafe. And Reece read it, and it said, if you make it out, if you succeed, you know where to go. So Rafe had a place, a safe place for Reece to go if he was successful.
And I remember now there was a map with Mozambique, and Mozambique, I believe it's somewhere in Africa, I guess, or something.
Yeah,
like
so Rafe was apparently in Mozambique in Africa, and he had some small village where they could live peacefully for the rest of Reece's life until he died. So he was heading to Mozambique to meet Rafe because Rafe had a place he could stay. Yeah.
But it looks like a wrong decision to me, because, you know, in Mozambique, there is no medicine. Probably your rest of the life, it's 2 weeks, right? And if you go, let's say, to Mexico, do you remember the Spanish doctor who offered some help? Probably it will be months or years, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe Reece, had agreed that he would, kill Reece when the suffering started to get bad. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Or assisted suicide,
Yes, I think it was a suicide.
Well,
Not fast.
slow suicide, right? Suicide. Well, actually, Reece committed suicide, right? When doctor talked to him, he decided to not to get any medication because of revenge. So he committed kind of slow suicide already. Right?
Yep. He wanted to be clear-headed and able to function so he could finish his list. So he decided, I'm going to let it kill me slowly so I can do what I have to do. Yeah.
He was already dead.
It was already dead. As he said,
Yes.
he didn't. He said, I already dead. I'm already dead.
Yep.
Okay, we have, well, it was the last question of the last episode of our series. Bola, what do you think? Did you enjoy this series?
Mhm. Yes.
Some of them.
Yeah.
If you ask me, some of the episodes did not touch my heart, but some of them were good. I like the Rambo episode. I like it some when they, the first one when they have a lot of twists, so story always changes. So some of them were really good. Some of them were a bit kind of simple, if you ask me. So I remember there was a whole episode of action, shoot and run. So I didn't enjoy this one. So, but I like when it goes to politics and conspiracy, right?
Yes, my favorite moment in this series was when Ben improvised like his surfer.
Yeah, surfer, yeah. It was in the bus when police interrogated him, right? When they tried to hide Reece in the bus. Yeah, exactly. Kostas, what about you? What do you think in general about this series?
Yes, it had me mixed feeling. Sometimes it's so slow and boring because it happens with the web series, when they build the story slowly. So yeah, some episodes are slow, but yeah, towards the end, it gets at its peaks.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had a problem with is it's the dark theme. I could see my reflection on my laptop screen every time. That much dark.
Yeah.
They have to buy. They crew, right? They movie crew have to buy a few, lights to make it better. Yeah. Yeah, but there are many, look at our conversation, right? We had the kind of different, especially you mentioned, different places, right? Actually, I enjoyed this story, about Mexico, this, how is it called, hacienda thing, this kind of part of Spanish culture, of Latin America culture. So it was pretty nice. Jikan, are you with us? Can you talk? Or we lost you completely?
That's weird. Yeah, the icon is still there, but it seems like she's frozen or gone. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What I liked about it was it just had a lot of different elements. It had government conspiracies, corporation conspiracies, military conspiracies, a lot of different elements all bound together in one long story. So yeah, it was I kind of enjoyed it myself.
Yeah, I agree. It did not get boring, right? Because it has a lot of twists. So I agree. Yeah. Okay, I don't think we have time for slides, but I'm going to put the slides in our group. So if we find something interesting, we can make our discussion in our chat, I guess. And guys, do you remember before it was a common practice for us with teacher Lee, we always played picture this exercise, so it was interesting. We can do it asynchronously. I guess that's all for today, right? And it's not clear what to choose next. Let's think about it. Yeah, we have a week.
Yeah.
We have a week to think about, and we have a lot of movies on our list already. so a list of suggested movies. And teacher, thank you for this movie. You did all the job. You recorded the movie. You wrote the synopsis. We were guided. It was a guided meditation, for us.
I enjoyed it, so I didn't mind. It was a story I enjoyed, watching again. Yeah.
Great. It's very good.
But I tell you, I'm looking at Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I'm not finding a lot of good movies anymore. So we're getting low on good selections to choose from.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
thanks to to all good old times, right? So we still have
Yeah.
our treasure box there.
Yep, got to go old. It looks like.
Yeah. Okay, thank you again. Thank you for this conversation. And one thing that I like it about series that we kind of have had the same cast. We don't have to to discuss it, and we have the same cast and new story every time. So we just
Yeah.
saving time. So that's why sometimes I'm thinking about some series maybe or something for the continuation. But let's discuss it.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Let's call it a day. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.